Hey everyone, welcome back to the JavaScript course. So in this video, we'll be looking into the JavaScript math, and if you find this interesting, let's get started right away. So in this video, we'll be exploring about the JavaScript math. So inside my VS Code, I've opened up my index.html file, my style.css file, as well as my script.js file. Okay, so there is some basic boilerplate code inside my index file and some basic styling given to the style.css file and a basic console.log text inside my script file. So now let's start exploring about the math. Okay, so there is a built-in math object inside of JavaScript that helps us to do mathematical functions inside and mathematical tasks inside our script file. So there are some important methods. So let's look into all of those. Okay, so let's say math methods. Okay, so the first one is gonna be the math.pi. Okay, so the second one is gonna be the math.round. The third one is gonna be a math.ceil. Okay, yeah, so the fourth one is gonna be math.floor. The fifth one is gonna be the okay, we have the absolute value. Sixth one is gonna be math.log. It's also going to calculate the logarithmic value. The seventh one is gonna be a math.max. The eighth one is gonna be math.min. And ninth one is gonna be the math.square root. Okay, and the 10th one is gonna be math.the power function. So math.pow, which is going to take the arguments to calculate the power value. Okay, so these are some of the math methods that we can apply and explore out. Okay, so the first one is going to be math.pi, of course. So let's say console.log, or let's initialize it to value. So let's say const pi value equals to math.pi, and let's console.log the pi value. Okay, it should essentially give us 3.14 in the console. Yeah, so we are getting the pi value. So that was it about the pi value. So you can use it to make calculations when you're finding out the area of a circle or the perimeter of a circle to get the pi value. So the next one is the round off method. So let's say const round off equals to math.round. So let's say we have 4.5 inside the method. So it's going to round off to the nearest value. So in the result, we are going to get the value as 5. So let's say console.log round off. Okay, so save the file once, and then yeah, so we are getting 5 in the console because it's rounding off to the nearest value. So the next one is going to be ceil method. So let's say const ceil value equals to math.ceil. Let's say 4.8. So this is gonna round off the value to upward, that is to the higher values present, whereas the floor method value, whereas the floor method is gonna round off to the lower value that is present. Okay, so let's console.log ceil value. So it should essentially give us 5 in the console. Yeah, so there you go, 5. So the same value, let's do it with the help of the floor method. So let's say const floor value equals to math.floor of, again we're going to say 4.8. so this is gonna round off the value to the lower values that is present, so it's going to give us 4 as the result. So let's console.log the floor value. Okay, save the file once, and then in the console, yeah, so there you go, we are getting 4 in the console. So that was it about the ceil and floor methods. So the next one is the absolute value. Okay, so let's say const absolute value equals to math.absolute value of, let's give a negative number, let's say 5. So it should give us the value in positive number, so we're going to get 5 as the output. So console.log of the absolute value. So save the file once. Okay, Yeah, so we are getting 5 in the console, so that's working fine. So now let's move on to the next method, that is to calculate the logarithmic value. So let's say const log value equals to math.log. So let's say we are going to calculate the value of 1, that is log 1. So essentially it's going to give us 0 because the value of log 1 is 0. So let's say console.log of the log value, and let's check out the console. So there you go, we are getting 0 in the console for log 1. So the next one is the max method. So this is going to take in some items, that is the numbers, and it is going to return us the maximum value item. So let's say const max number equals to math.max. Let's give 100, 200, minus 300, and then 400, and then 600, and then 850. Okay, so let's console.log the max number. So this essentially should give us 850 in the console because that's the maximum value from all of this items. So save the file once, check out the console. Yeah, so you are getting 850 in the console. That's working correctly fine. So the next method is the min method. So for that, let's say const min number equals to math.min. Let's again give 100, 200, minus 300, 500, 600, and then 850. Okay, so this essentially should calculate the minimum value from the given items. So it's going to give us minus 300, so that's the minimum value. So let's go check out the console once. Yeah, so there you go, we are getting minus 300 in the console, so working fine. So the next method is the square root method. So let's say const square value equals to math.sqrt. Okay, let's pass in 625. So so 25 square is 625, so it should essentially give us 25 in the console. So console.log of square value. Okay, so save the file once. Okay, come back to the console. Yeah, so essentially we are getting 25 in the console because square root of 625 is 25. So the next method is the power function. So let's say const power value equals to math.power. Let's give 2,5. So this is in such a way that it's going to calculate the calculate 2 power 5, which is going to be 32, right? So yeah, let's console.log the correct value. So let's say console.log power value and check out the console. Yeah, it is 2 power 5, that's going to be 32. So I think that's it about all of the methods inside, all of the major methods that I remember in the JavaScript math. So that is starting from math.pi, and then the math.round, the ceil method, the floor method, and the absolute method, the logarithmic method, and then the maximum, which is used to calculate the maximum and the minimum value from a given set of arguments, that is items. And we also have the square root and also the power method. Okay, I think that's it about the JavaScript math. That is the basic. So let's see you in the next video, and then thank you for watching.